Hello, everyone. My name is Sia Knight, and I am the College Savvy Coach. I am here with this new project that I have mentioned before. I'm calling it the 2020 Project because we're looking in hindsight to a variety of different people and their college experiences. And it can be based on their background, it could be based on them working in the industry. A variety of different people are going to stop by and talk to us about what their advice is. So today I'd like to welcome Kenya Cummings, and I'm going to let her introduce herself. So I don't want to forget anything. I don't want to say anything wrong. I'm just going to sit back and relax and listen to Kenya tell us about herself.
Yeah, my name is Kenya Cummings. I am a graduate of the University of Kentucky. Go Wildcats. And
Yes.
also a graduate of Methodist Theological School in Ohio. So it's a small graduate theological school. And I went to school really passionate, hoping to become a teacher. And health had other plans for me. So I got a bachelor's in family science, a minor in African American studies, because I wanted to be able to impact the school system. And I knew that family science and social work the school system is always looking for some help and support in those kind of ways. And then realized after working in preschool and some other settings that, you know what, I need a little something more root what I wanted to do with my life. So I went to seminary and had a great time and experience. Was blessed to have scholarships, both go rounds, so that I have very minimal student debt. And I'm
Yay.
excited to talk about how me and my family set myself up for that with you.
That is wonderful. Yes, those are magical words. Very little student debt. The only thing that trumps that is no
No
student
student.
debt, right? So, yeah, so Kenya, I'm going to ask you the question. Are you ready for it now?
I'm
You
ready.
might need to lean in. I don't know. But the question is, what is your best advice for families of college bound students? Take it away. I'm writing, I'm listening.
All right, sounds good. My best advice is to remember that college is actually a team sport. I think that people go into college, and we always tell children and young people, like, you're getting ready to go to college. You're not going to have the support there. You're not going to da da da. You have to do this by yourself. But it's actually better if you don't do it by yourself. And what I mean by that is you should do your own individual work. Plagiarism is not a game. They will kick you out of school. But what I mean is colleges and the communities where you're going to be going to college have all kinds of support systems in place. And if you know about the support systems, sometimes you can find the money for school. And that's kind of like my story for undergrad. My dad pastored in Lexington, Kentucky, where the University of Kentucky is found. And we were privileged to kind of learn a lot about the campus before I got there. And by meeting with professors, meeting with people on campus, I was able to find out about their program that helped for first generation, that helped for African American students and minorities. And by finding out that support service, I found out that there was a state scholarship for minorities going to that school. And I found that out early, like my sophomore year in high school. So I was able to build a great resume, maintain contacts and relationships, which helped me land the scholarship, but also helped me land a team of people to support me. So what came along with our scholarship was support staff who helped us figure out navigating college, helped us get into free support programs around our writing and our mathematics and things of that nature, things that can trip you up. And I wouldn't have been able to have that happen if I wouldn't have really had great conversations with my family and had great conversations with the staff of the university. Same thing even for graduate school. Visited a couple of different schools, clicked with the admission staff who were able to really talk me through all of the programs. I knew what I was getting myself into. And because I knew that and I knew what my aspirations was, I was able to find a full tuition scholarship.
Sorry, hold on one second.
No problem.
Okay. I guess I will be doing some editing for this one. For this one. So let's start again.
Okay.
Okay. So you said that the best thing that you did was getting involved early. You mentioned your sophomore year in high school,
Yeah.
which I hear too many people say, oh, it's so early. We've got plenty of time. We hear that junior year is the important year. What about senior year?
No.
So, yes, that is what we hear.
Yes. Sophomore year is like the training year. You have to like be looking and paying attention and doing the groundwork. Junior year is like when you actually get to start for the team. You get to do the things and submit things and all that stuff. But really, junior year, you should be making decisions, not trying to figure out what you're doing.
Right, right. So, what I would also ask you about is I would ask you about um, getting involved with the community and approaching those professors and having those contacts with those professors. Was that a difficult thing to do, or how did you go about that? Because some students are really, really unsure on how to do that.
Yeah, I'll speak a little bit about mine, but I'll also speak about some young people that I mentor who just she's going into her sophomore year in college, and so I think her story fits a little bit easier, far more approachable than mine. I got to meet professors just because of the amount of community involvement I was involved in middle school and high school. So my family had mantra kind of is service is the rent you pay for living. Like they take that kind of thing very serious. So I would meet professors at community events, at church events, and ask them just questions about what they were doing, how they landed where they were. And I know that that can be a little bit hard to kind of approach. Like, okay, you might know someone's a professor or works at a university asking questions. My mentee, she just knew what she was passionate about. So she is a creative writer, and she also knows that creative writing is a hard thing to kind of monetize. And so she looked for writing programs, and universities have those. Like universities aren't just for college people getting their degree, they're for the community. So they have a lot of programs. So she found one and was able to write and to do all that fun work there and build a relationship with her professor in the program. And that relationship was great because that professor, although they worked for the university or that particular institution, was able to say, hey, I have other creative writing colleagues in different places, and you should think about this. And if you do this program, then you might get a scholarship. And so she was able to really do some great discernment and meet professors locally and in other places because that one connect, like one, she did one application to a summer writing program, and boom, all these other things started to fall into place.
So it sounds like for those of us who may have children or students who are in this, not even millennials now, that millennials are getting to be
Yeah,
a little bit older.
we're creeping into our 30s.
Yes, but I guess the generation Y. But that is the generation in which you have to really kind of make them make phone calls
You,
because they're like, call? I can just text the person. It's like, no.
know, you have to call, you have to write, and you have to be okay with even introducing yourself in person. Like one of my mentors says, if you're trying to make a new connection, you try to do the person first thing, then you try to call, then you email. And because people want to see who you are, and really once people have the opportunity to connect with you once,
Mhm.
that's all it takes. That's all it takes. So I just encourage for us to step outside of our comfort zone, whether that be adults that are helping young people make those connections or young people that are bound for college. Do the extra step or the extra work because it pays off in the end.
Absolutely. And one thing that I would say, parents, if you know that your child is the type of your person who's really not in love with networking or meeting other people, maybe role playing. That could be something that you do with your child, something around the house, because what it will do is it will get some practice behind that whole scenario of meeting someone who could definitely help to benefit them for college and also beyond. Because really and truly, those internships, those assistantships, those are the things that lead to long-term success. And it all starts with your child being able to coherently go up, introduce himself, herself, and start a conversation. So, and I mean your child, not me
Not
on
no,
behalf, on
parent, not
behalf of my child, but no, it has to be the child. It has to be the student. Now, if you're really lost about how to do that and you're like, oh, I don't know, Skippy's not really going to like that, guess what? I work with families. I work with students. It sometimes helps to be one step removed, not mom, not dad. And so just kind of, holler at me on collegesavvycoach.com if you have some questions about the type of work that I do with young people and with parents as well. So, Kenya, what is your last piece of parting advice? What do you want to leave us with?
I just want to leave you with really leaning into a team approach. So getting a coach, you have one that right here that's talking, is very knowledgeable. Talking to family members who've already been to college. I know that sometimes that's a challenge with families if someone's not had the experience. Trying to get someone someplace that you haven't been can be challenging. And I say use the resources that you have. And I mean even your local librarians. I mean calling the university yourself, practicing the role playing at home, inviting your children to do that with their friends and their peers. Like, we're all going to do this for the 10 minutes it takes to get to the movies tonight or whatever, because it's so important. I know that I would not have the degrees that I have without my friends and my family and the folks at my university and mentors that I have. So I just say lean into that. And if you don't know who those people are, like this is what this project is even about, and what the Savvy Coaches work is about, is getting connected with someone who can. Because I'm trying to tell you, graduating with no debt or very little debt is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It absolutely is. In fact, I'm just going to take a moment and drink that in, because let me tell you, there's something that I hadn't really started revealing to the people in my network until recently. But listen, I'm the college savvy coach. I've made it. I've got 3 degrees. Yahoo, that's wonderful. But I still have student loan debt as a college savvy coach, and I'm old. So my goal is to not be paying for school while my children go to college. And the information has come out about how more and more student debt has been accrued from students and families, and we don't want to do that. I want to help to put a stop to that, okay? So this has been wonderful, Kenya. So is there anything else you want us to know? Is there any place that we can find you, or
Yeah. One of the things that I found out in my journey through undergrad and through graduate school is that once people become what they become, and for me, that's like people in the helping professions, so preachers, teachers, counselors, all that fun stuff, sometimes we forget how to take care of ourselves. And what I've learned in the last year of my life is just how to do that better. So what I'm working on and getting ready to roll out coaching and things around is, how do we stay well while helping others? And you can find me on Facebook, Kenya Cecilia Rose. And you can also find me at my blog at kenyaceciliarose@wordpress.com. And there you will find tips around wellness and balance and just living life. How do we be the best people that we can be? How do we integrate the passions that we have?
Wonderful. Yay, Kenya. I'm passionate about this interview. It was really, really great for you to agree to spend this time. And again, that is Kenya Cecilia Rose on Facebook, correct?
Yes.
And then Kenya Cecilia Rose at WordPress.com. Correct? Okay, wonderful. So everybody check her out. Evidently, she's got some good information and some great insight. So I can't wait for you to really get that practice up and running, and you come back and talk specifically about that. How's that?
Sounds great to me.
All right. Thank you so much, Kenya. Have a good evening. And thanks so much, everybody. Until next time, stay savvy.